Lauren here. Welcome back to Blade's Advice Corner, the show that I do once every other month. It seems like maybe once a month, depends on how popular these things get. Now, obviously, from the title, we know what we're talking about today. We're talking about friendship, and I have a lot of different things to say about that. So hopefully, this video doesn't go too long, but I'll try to keep it at least under 20 minutes. Hopefully, it's not anything past that. But if it is, I do apologize in advance because this is definitely one of those subjects that has a very broad concept. But I'm only going to focus on a few factors when it comes to friendship, and this is more geared to my younger audience than anything else because I know, your older audience, you don't really need. I don't need to tell you what friendship is. At this point, you should have already kind of gained or know what friends are. But I know a lot of people recently have been talking about friends recently, and more so, even me. I've had to deal with some issues outside of YouTube on both my good friends and some people that are new in my life, etc. That it really has been kind of testing to a lot of things. So it's a good video for me to show what I've been dealing with in one way, but at the same time, how to deal with friends in general. Now, also, you notice I have no glasses on. That's only because right now, as you can see, the room's really dark. It's becoming light outside, but if I have both the camera on, or excuse me, the camera and the light and the outside light on at the same time, it's gonna look horrible. I'll be honest with you, it's gonna be something terrible. So for me right now, having my glasses off instead of looking like an anime character with my eyes actually being all whited out because of the reflection, I figure what, just do this without my glasses and be in a dark room when it comes to that. So yeah, this is like one of the few times you probably will ever see me without glasses. Um, but anyways, I digress. So this video, like I said, is gonna be about two things. One, it's gonna be about gaining friends, and two, it's about losing friends. They're something that people need to know in equal measure. Now, we're gonna first off with the former. We're gonna start with actual gaining friends. Now, what does it mean to gain friends? Does that mean like, oh, I'm gonna teach you the ways of getting so many people? You're gonna be like super popular? No, I'm not gonna teach you how to be super popular. More so, this is kind of geared at the people that just want to make friends that are close because I'll tell you right now, a lot of times people might have a lot of friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. But on a real scale of friendship versus acquaintance, you know, that's a big thing to take into consideration because a lot of times people will gain a lot of friends, but realistically, if you are to look at what they offer you in the relationship, and friendship is a relationship in itself, it's a give and take. You give something to them, they take something for you, and vice versa. They give you something, they take from you for something in return. But acquaintances is almost the same concept. However, it's not embedded with enough of friendship. It's not embedded with the same type of love and the same type of, camaraderie, etc. So you really have to know what that is, the difference between the two. For me, at least to know what the difference between acquaintance and a friend is. A friend I know will get have my back. It sounds kind of corny, but it's very true. My best friend, for example, I know if I ever needed him for something, he would be there, in a second. And if he ever needed me for something, I'd be right there too if I can. It's just that's how it is with us. We know we have each other's back. And the same applies to people that are just my regular friends or my good friends. I know that they can do something for me and I can do something for them, and we love each other in our own right. It's not per se a friendship based on just pure love, like, oh, a relationship like of a actual love type thing, like that. If that makes sense. But more so a friendship that is love of another person. You care about that person enough that if something, God forbid, happened to them, you would care and you would feel horrible for them, and you can understand what they're going through, and you can really help them out when they need it. I think people always kind of get those words like they hear love and they think, oh, it must be like, you're going to take it to another level. It doesn't have to be another level. It's just that there can be love, just like a family. Someone you might consider your sister or brother, at the same time, they might be just your friend. You might consider them my brother or sister. Like my best friend, I consider my brother in many ways because I know it's just like that with us. I love him very much. I care about him. And equally, there are some girls that I know that I also love them too because I know I got their back and they have my back. Simple as that. But anyways, that's just to kind of point out the difference between acquaintance. Acquaintance, though, is the person that is on a lesser level. You still might care about them. They still might be very important to you, but at the same time, it's not, I guess, as a personal level. It's not at the same level of caring. Where if something, God forbid, happened, you needed assistance, they might not be there for you. And I'm not saying that your friend or your acquaintance always has to be there every single second of the day, but at the same time, if they're never there for you, or if all of a sudden conveniently something's wrong and they can't do anything about it, that's, I hate to say it, that's an acquaintance. That's a person that doesn't have the same level of friendship. Now, let's talk about rule number one for friends, gaining friends. The concept is that to gain a friend, you really need to be vocal. And I know people are like, wait, what is it? Doesn't that mean obvious like you just talk to people? Yeah, you talk to people. But what I mean by that is be vocal and speak up. Tell people, hey, this is me. This is who I am as a person. This is what my flaws and my strengths are as a person, etc. And not in the same, not in the sense of like you literally going, oh, I'm good at sports, but I'm weak at this. You don't do that. I'm saying in the sense that over time you have to let people know who you are. And I notice one thing with people is that in this day and age, in my society, in my generation, people are less vocal with one another. We rely a lot on the keyboard to do our vocality to one another. We type things, we go and we can write like essay log responses to things. Yeah, it's great. But the problem with that is that at a level, it makes us very unsociable. We can't actually talk to other, people around us, and we right away go, "What do I say? I don't know what to do." But realistically, if it was on the keyboard, you seem like you have the answer in a second. That's a problem in itself. And if that's a problem with you, you really have to kind of make sure that to practice, you have to be vocal. You have to talk. I know it sounds really corny when I'm gonna say this, but it's very true. Speaking class. Not like, not a disrespectful mate. I don't want to be like, oh, just raise your hand, when someone asks a question or something like that and talk. Don't be afraid to answer a question. Don't be afraid to kind of give your own responses, etc. Talk. And I know that sounds kind of weird. Like, well, how is that gonna? What's that's gonna do is that's actually to help you, put your opinion out there, put your voice out there. And over time, simple things like that. That's just one measure of things. I'm not gonna go into like a million different things of way of talking to people, but at a whole, what that's gonna do is that's gonna help you as a person vocalize. It's gonna help you if you're in school. People will go, hey, that guy seems pretty smart, or that guy seems pretty interesting, or that girl seems pretty interesting, whatever. And you'll notice, oh, wow, you know, they'll come up to you maybe after class. Hey, so yeah, we were talking about this today in class. Can you tell me more about it? I didn't understand it, or I thought your opinion on that was really good. Whatever. And the same could be applied to joining clubs. Listen, I wasn't in a lot of clubs, but I was in a few clubs, at least in high school and junior high. And the thing was that I made a lot of friends in those. Not friends that I kept forever, which we'll go into a losing friends concept later, but I made a lot of friends from that, and a lot of experiences that were great. But the thing was is that because I was in a club, it made it so I was in an environment with people that were very similar to me. So say for example you love history, join a history club, join a literature club of some sort. If you're a person that loves chess or board games, join a board game club or so, like in school chess club, whatever. These are things that really people don't take advantage of. They think, oh, let me just go home, let me go play games or whatever. Yeah, but if you're looking for friends, you gotta have to go out there and make friends. Now, I'm not gonna say that all your friends will be made this way. Some friends, I'll tell you right now, some of my friends have come up to me and we started talking. And I was a very shy person, even up to college. I was a shy person, but I became more vocal enough that even like I'm doing YouTube. Like before, I don't think I could have ever done YouTube if I'm in my high school years. But I became more vocal as time went on. I kept talking to people and kept saying things to people. And before I knew it, I was able to vocalize with people very, easily, and that's something that came with both practice and experience. Once I started talking to people enough, I had no issues. I was never afraid of people saying, "Oh, I like your opinion" or "I hate your opinion," because I could talk back. I could go, "Well, okay, I respect you that you didn't like my opinion," or "Oh, let's talk more about it because you like my opinion," etc. Now, another step, one of two. I'm only gonna give like two steps for each category. Losing friends would be a little bit longer. That's why I gotta watch the time to a certain degree. You know, Another way of gaining friends is also just be yourself. I know it sounds like a parent line, like, oh, my mom and dad say that line all the time to be yourself, and it's very true. I'll tell you right now, being yourself really will take you far. And I mean that in every sense of the word. Because if you are yourself, people will flock to you because they'll see someone that's not phony, that's someone interesting, that's someone into what they are into. If you play the chameleon card, because I know people that are like the chameleon, and the concept of the chameleon is that you adhere to everyone else's thing, like, oh, I could do this and that and this and that and whatever, and I could just kind of mix and match. You're gonna be the jack of all trades, the master of none, which is not a bad thing to have skill trait wise, but in terms of friendship, that's gonna make you a very questionable friend because people aren't gonna know if you're telling the truth, if you're being honest about this, what your real skills lie at. And listen, I'm not good at certain things. I tell people I'm not good with, per se, computers. I'm not the greatest computer savvy person out there, but I'm decent with them. But I tell people that, I'm not afraid to tell people that. And I know this day and age, we're all computer savvy for the most part, which is something that you realize, oh, I'm not as good with the computers. That means people are going to dislike me. No, there are plenty of people I've met that have become my friends because they go, hey, I suck with computers too. Let me go talk to you and let's see if we can get better together, etc., whatever. That's how it is. Gaining friends is very simple. It's just that people make it in their minds very complicated because they say, "Oh, I don't look a certain way. I'm not handsome enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm ugly, etc." Don't think of any of that. Get out of that, all that out of your mind right away. Because no matter what you look like as a person, no matter what you are, no matter what religion you are, what race you are, you can make friends anywhere. The thing is that you have to be willing to make friends and realize that maybe you might go through a certain year that you might not make any friends whatsoever. And I know it sucks, but it's the very truth of the matter. There might be times where you go a long stretch without making friends, and it sucks when it happens, but that does not mean that you won't make a friend next year. It just means that you have to wait till maybe another class you have to go to, or another year of school or college, whatever, you know, but it's going to take that long. But never ever think that you're not going to make friends because of how you look. Because trust me, I'm not the most handsome guy in the world. I don't think I'm really that great looking at all. But I've made plenty of friends. I have certain traits about me that maybe turn off other people, but other people love them about me. That's how it is. Now, this part is something that I've been dealing with recently: losing friends. Now, losing friends is something that people don't realize happens a lot. It really does, and it's unfortunate, but it's something that you have to come to grips with. Now, what do I mean by losing friends? Do I mean like they die? No, I don't mean like they die. I mean, unfortunately, it does happen. I've had friends of mine that died in the past, and God rest their soul, but it does happen. But I'm not saying that in the concept of death. What I mean more so in this case is people moving on. So, a lot of times I know a lot of people, like the most popular people in high school, had hundreds of friends. Like they go, oh, yeah, I had all these friends. And then when they get out of high school, all their friends are gone. They almost go back to like zero state of friends. Maybe a few of them they still talk to. Maybe they have one or two friends left, but they've lost all their friends. Part one of my whole thing of losing friends is realize that sometimes people move on. Maybe they grow up. Maybe they go and realize, hey, I don't like the same stuff you like anymore. I want to move on to another group of friends. Maybe they find someone more important among their friends, etc. It happens. It really does. It's not that it's gonna happen all the time. I don't want to make you sound like that. Like I don't want to say, oh, that's gonna be bound to happen. No, because I mean, I have a good best friend who I've known since my second year of high school. And we're still great friends. But I also, like I said, I made a lot more friends during high school, and out of my like, I think I have maybe on my hand maybe three friends from high school I still talk to, even though I made dozens upon dozens of friends in high school. Happens. Even in college, in some ways, college, you make even better friends there. But at the same time, most of them I don't talk to. I talk to a select few of them because, we're still talking, we're still, buddy buddy. But the thing is that we've moved on. We've gone to, careers. We've gone into different states. We've gone to different places. It's how life is, unfortunately. Understand that. It sucks because some people don't figure that out. They don't go, oh, I lost my friend. I must be a horrible person or I must have done something wrong. No, it's not you did anything wrong. It's just time moves on. Number two, and this is something that has happened to me recently with someone. I'm not going to name names or etc. I'm not going to go into the whole background story because if you follow me on Twitter, you know my background story of what I'm going to get. Understand that sometimes friendships need to end. Simple as that. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I'll explain it now. My mom said this the best way. This is kind of how I'm going to say this for all of friendship in general. Friends are like the season. This comes from my mom's advice, okay? But it's very true. Friends are like the season. Some come back. Sometimes, they get stronger. Sometimes some of them don't come back as strong. And sometimes, another season has to end before a new season appears. And it just means that, you've had friends in your life, they'll come in, be there for only 1 year, and then they're gone. But there are times where even people like that you've gotten very close to, maybe you made a great friend, or maybe you made a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, and then you guys broke up, and you guys were best friends during that sequence of events, but then all of a sudden when you broke up, it seems like you drifted apart. It has to happen. I know people say that, exes can be friends with one another, and I agree with that to a point. I really do. Exes can be friends with one another, but it has to be in a certain manner because it's kind of poisonous otherwise. What I mean by that, and this is something that I'm not saying with my situation, but it's something that is similar to it nonetheless, is that, if your friend is, your ex or whatever, this is the case of, an ex breaking up or whatever, you know, it's gonna always have this kind of thing in the background of you having been in a relationship together, and depending on how that broke up, is depending on how that friendship will be. So if say both of you realize, hey, you know what, this is not working out. we don't like each other that way, or maybe we just don't see each other eye to eye the same way, or we don't love each other the same way. A breakup like that is clean and smooth. It's very simple. And when that happens, that can be a good friendship because you go, hey, you know what? I know this person in and out. I know what they like, I know what they dislike, etc. And we like each other's concepts and stuff like that. Maybe we're not, going to be the future husband and wife combo, but at the same time, we could be good friends. We could be best friends. And that is very possible. That's nothing wrong with that because I know plenty of people like that. But if one of you breaks up with the other person and goes, oh, I'm dumping you, and the other person still has feelings for that person, etc., or vice versa, that's going to lead to a poisonous relationship. And you don't want a poisonous relationship. So, this is kind of the whole thing I'm getting at, besides the X thing, but that was a good example for me to kind of convey to you guys. Poisonous friendships are not good for you. They're not healthy, and you don't need them in your life. If someone hurts your feelings, if someone makes it so hard for you to talk to someone or whatever, or maybe they hurt you in other ways, whatever, that's not a friend. Maybe they were a friend at one time, maybe they were acquaintances at one time, but people like that are batteries. And we're like batteries, I should say. I'm sorry, I said it incorrectly, but you get what I mean. We're like batteries, and people like that are like the things that take energy from batteries. They're what uses batteries is the way I wanted to say it, but I said it incorrectly, so I do apologize. But they take our energy, and that's a poison. That's not good. We don't need to be leached off of. In a good friendship, in a healthy friendship, it's going to be a give and take enough that it's almost like recharging yourself at times. So yeah, okay, maybe for example something stressful happens. It's like, oh god, we got into a big fight, etc. Whatever. That's bound to happen. Best friends fight all the time. I fight with my best friend all the freaking time. But we at the end of the day, we're like, hey, no, man, I'm sorry, man. No, I'm sorry, whatever. But you know, in a poisonous relationship, what's going to happen is that you get into fights with that person, and they're going to keep sapping you away, and you're not going to get anything out of that friendship. You're going to be like, are we good? Or they're like, yeah, whatever, it's over, whatever, blah blah. But you won't feel happy, and if that happens, that's poison. You don't realize how much that's going to take off of you as a human being. So understand that sometimes you have to let friends go, and understand that it sucks. Like, you want to be with that friend maybe for long. Maybe you guys shared so much in common, or maybe you shared some great experiences together. It's gonna have to end. If it's hurting you, it's gonna have to end because it might hurt them in the long run, but it's gonna hurt you more, and you have to really think of yourself in this case. Now, hopefully, this kind of wraps up this whole friendship thing. Hopefully, you guys and girls understand that friendship is something that's very, very intricate. You know, it's a hard, hard, hard thing for us to deal with as human beings. Making friends, losing friends, etc., are almost the same exact thing because it's easy to gain friends, it's even easy to lose them. But understand that people in our life will come into our lives, and when we need them, we need them. If not, we don't. But you know what? It's surprising how fast things happen, and people are so hell bent on thinking, "Oh, I can't make friends" or whatever. You can't make friends because you're saying you can't make friends. But trust me, this comes from a person that didn't have friends for a long time in my life, and now I have a whole bunch of friends. I have phone numbers. I know people that are both online and real life, etc. And I talk to them daily. Guess what? Friends, the ones that you really are going to care about, will come to your life. And when they come to your life, you will be stronger as a person, but you'll realize what true friendship means when it actually happens. Anyways, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this advice corner thing. As always, if you did, please hit the like button. Please comment below. What are your thoughts on this? What do you have opinions on it, etc. I will talk to you guys later. Have a blessed day, everyone. God bless you all. Hopefully you'll understand that. Hey, friendship is definitely something that's scary, but you can deal with it. You really can. If you're a younger person right now that is dealing with loss of friends or whatever, realize that plenty more will come your way. You're freaking young. You still have many more years. Trust me. Have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.